That's how I've got
Okay.
started this call. Like, we just with that going. Hello, everybody watching this video right now. Um, hello. So here we
Hello.
have the incredible Natalia and the awesome Serena on this call today, because what we are going to do is talk to you about our wonderful new modality, Rapid Story Reframe, that Natalie and I stumbled upon, got downloaded, we're gifted with, whatever, however we want to describe that, a little while ago. We have used this on each other. We have used it with lots, well, yeah, a good number of people now.
A lot.
And without blowing our trumpet too much, we are changing lives with this, and Serena has given us a kick up our bottoms to say, get this out there, girls, get talking about this, make people aware of this, because this is life-changing stuff. So we just wanted to get Serena onto a call today so you can explain about your experience, how you found it, how it's different to different healing modalities, and yeah, so over to you, Natalie. Do you want to ask some questions to Serena?
So, so just to recap, like Laura said, this is our amazing modality which supports all of the work that we do. So this modality can be used individually, or we use it in our coaching programs, our programs that both Laura and I both run separately with our clients. And this is just something that has enabled us to really help our clients to go deeper. So, one of my premises is I'm over this sticking plaster shit where we're trying to do stuff all the time and it works for so long. And then you find out that I'm still having that same problem. This same issue is occurring for me, that life can feel good. There's like ups, downs, up, downs. We know that's normal of life. But this modality, we believe, having worked on ourselves, and that's the critical bit, we don't put stuff out here unless we have practiced it ourselves. We are about working on the whole self, going deep. So we're practicing what we're preaching, but we want you to hear about all of this week, the amazing women like Serena who have also worked with us on this, because this shit is not easy. Anyone that tells you personal growth is easy, bullshit, frankly. And this is about getting messy, being vulnerable. And that's exactly what, and I hope you don't mind saying, Serena, that's what you've done from working with us. So
Yeah,
rather than us just talking, let's hear from you. Because Rapid Story Reframe, the clues in this title, it's about getting underneath what's running you, what your current story is. So just share, if you don't mind, Serena, where were you kind of at before we even got to this point and we said, we need to do this modality on you, in terms of how you were feeling, what were kind of some of the repeated patterns that you felt were affecting you, that made you think, actually, it's time I tried something?
Yeah, well, firstly, it was divinely guided. I totally believe that, because obviously I was working with you anyway, Natalie, with breathwork, wasn't I? So yeah, and like my journey, I'll speak about my story so that it can fall into the concept of how this came about. So I've struggled for years and years and years with anxiety. Now, my anxiety shows up when I've got to be in like a public domain speaking. So something like this would essentially in the past make me feel so anxious to the point of I would experience bodily symptoms and not know what to do with them. So, that's what, from experiencing anxiety, that's what brought me to a healing journey in the first place. So I've been chipping away at this for years, years and years and years, to kind of like no avail, really. Like I'd have moments where I'd feel a little bit different and I'd feel better. Yeah, the root of it always felt like it was there. I never felt like I got to the root of it. Yeah, when we was experiencing our breathwork sessions, I felt like that resistance was in my body, because I know that we spoke about it. And I was like, well, I don't really know what this resistance is. So that's when you spoke about, oh, well, I've got this new modality that we've been working on, me and Laura. And, like I say, it was divinely guided. And we had that session. And that session just got to the root of something that I've never, ever been able to reach. Like that's how powerful it was in that transformation. And I don't say this lightly, because like I say, I've been working on this issue for years, and it's only recently dropped into my awareness of where this issue stems from. So having that in my awareness, like I say, I've been divinely guided with it. So my spirit guides were helping me with that, like to get to that point of acknowledging something. And then literally as I was acknowledging it, you two were like on my doorstep, like with this new modality.
Yeah.
And it was like, let's try this. And then literally as I came to it with that awareness of what I wanted to work on, it was like you two just knew exactly what to do with that. you know. So obviously I had it in my awareness, and I was like, well, what do I do with this? Where do I go with this? Like, I've done so much work on it already. I have got healing tools that I can use. Yeah, like I say, it was divinely guided, because as soon as that dropped into my awareness, there was you two doing this modality with me. Then I got to the root of it, and even more stuff was uncovered from that root. So it wasn't just what had been holding me back and limiting me from a childhood experience, and through the dynamics of my parents and how safe we feel around them at times. And when I say safe, it doesn't normally necessarily mean like a big traumatic experience. Like, feeling safe is just feeling safe to express yourself to your parents, you know, or feeling misunderstood in that self-expression to your parents. And that's how I'd been feeling, yet I didn't know that that was a big root cause, again, of what was showing up in my body. Because obviously when we feel anxious, something's being triggered from a past moment, you know, a past moment in time where we've made something mean something. You know, so obviously from that I've brought that to this, and here we are now.
So let me just interject for a second, because I really want you to, anyone that's watching it live or on replay, and do watch it back and let us know what you think. I want you to just hone in on exactly what Serena has just said there, because it's critical. So this modality is not for you if you think there is something wrong with you. All of us are successful women in our own right. Everyone watching this, you are successful, whether you believe it right now or not, in your own right. And you do not have to do this work because there is something wrong with you. Exactly as Serena's just articulated, life felt all right. There was ups, there was downs. And this is exactly what Laura and I were describing last week. There's not, you know, I look at me, successful woman in business, in the corporate career. There was nothing wrong with me. Many people looking at her and be like, what are you complaining about, love? And it's not that you're complaining, but this is the ebbs and flows of life. But this is the repeated patterns, what Serena has just mentioned, that physical manifestation, that feeling of anxiety, which always was creeping up with her every now and again when things were riding high, maybe when things weren't riding so high. And this is what we're talking about. What are some of these things, these patterns that are showing up for you, which are the signs that you might need to do something about it to help you, most importantly, to see things differently. And that's where Serena got to, because like Serena said, you know, this woman is like the queen of personal development, healing, etc. And you had tried lots of different things. We'd done the breath work, which is about deep releasing, you know, subconscious, deep rooted issues, which worked to a degree. But when you were talking, I was like, nah, there's still something. And we knew it, didn't we? So we were like, let's give this a whirl. So tell us, Serena, you've obviously done lots of different things, all of which complement and help to support this. But what did you feel was different about this modality that just took it to that step where you're like, now I feel like I've really hit the nail on the head with understanding what's going on and why that contributes to how I'm showing up?
I think it's you two, you know, that level of inquiry. So that level of inquiry of questioning in such a way that helps you get to, like you say, the story that's running underneath it. So again, like you've just said, it's about that higher perspective, and that's what I believe over anything that we find that is limiting us, blocking us, restricting us, anything that we're struggling with that's becoming a challenge. So again, it's not about fixing us, it's about, we notice something that we're experiencing and we want to get to the root of it, to try and understand it first and foremost, have it in our awareness, then gain the higher perspective over it. Because once we gain that higher perspective over it, then, you know, it doesn't trigger us in the way that it has done previously. And that's from getting to that root of it. Like I say, I've always struggled, I've chipped away at it, and I felt like I've been getting close, and I've always known that there's more to it. Yeah, I didn't know. Like, you can be in that place where you just know there's more to something, yet you don't know where to go. You don't know how to go to those depths. And this is where you need that support in sessions like this, by someone being able to see into your blind spot. So this is how I see what it is that you two do. You two, like the Johari's window, you know, the Johari's window, you know, where you've got that blind spot, and it is about really trying to push those boundaries to be more open, to be more aware. Because people say knowledge is power. I think self-awareness is power. So self-awareness is knowledge is power. And that is what you've given me through these sessions. It's digging that deeper and getting you to you just source directly into the blind spot. And we all have blind spots. So no matter how much personal development work and growth that you do, you're always going to have a blind spot. And this is why you need people like, you know what I mean, that can really see, that have got that intuition, they've got the ability and capability to ask really open, deep-rooted questions to get you thinking in a different way, so that you can see what you made that mean in that moment, and how irrational sometimes that is in comparison to the reality of what's going on around you. Because again, that's what our bodies do. They react with our bodily symptoms in an irrational way. Like we feel like we're under threat, especially with anxiety. Do you know what I mean? That fight flight, it's like I'm under threat from something. Yeah, I know there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing really threatening me. Yet my body was telling me something different. My body was telling me a different story, a different narrative than what was going on consciously. So I know with anxiety, and this is what I've worked on, that a lot of it can come from our thoughts, our thought patterns. So I've done a lot of work around my thought patterns and my mindset and my mental health around that. Yeah, when you're still feeling those bodily symptoms,
Yes.
yet you've done a lot of work logically on your conscious mind, you can't make sense of it. So I was struggling to make sense of why I was still feeling it in my body, because our body keeps a score. Yet why? I was like, why is my body keeping the score? When logically I've done all this healing, I've been able to go back and heal loads of past little me's, you know, in all these kind of scenarios that's made me feel like something's not safe about the world as such. Yeah, like I say, you brought into my awareness a huge blind spot that I'd not even touched on throughout all the different healing modalities that I'm trained in, that I work in, you know. And like I say, I did have support through that from a spiritual team, because that's what our spiritual team does. It guides us to what's best for us.
Oh, I've lost Serena.
Oh. And it guided me to you two in that moment. For am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Am I back? Yeah. So like literally it froze on the uproot. So yeah, it uprooted that within me, and I felt the shift immediately within the session. I just knew something was different, you know. And sometimes we can't explain what that is, and in the moment I couldn't really explain what it was until afterwards, putting it into action. So I noticed I behaved differently afterwards, and that's the key. That's the difference.
That is the key. And again, this is perfect, and I love this because you're explaining it wonderfully in a different way, so everybody can really hear what we're saying, which was Serena just talked about thoughts, and they can run away with you, and that creates anxiety, and the conscious awareness, and then the body. And I'm sure that it was here that I said, and you and I, Laura, said last week, 90% of people out there in this world do not feel from this point down. This runs the show. And this modality is turning that on its head and saying, this can support, but the body needs to run the show, and then the aligned action from the head consciously follows through. Your body, unless you bring awareness to it, like Serena has said, cannot even get anywhere near what is going on in this space, because your subconscious mind, it's trying to protect you. It's the survival mechanism. It serves a purpose. We're not going to shame it, but it does not help you to grow, to push out of your comfort zone. When you really tap into how you feel, you start to then create awareness and distinguish, do I feel this? Or is this telling me I am feeling this? And this telling you you are feeling it is not necessarily, and what we're finding, what's being felt here. And that is the shift change. That is the shift change that allows you, as Serena said, I'm feeling different already, because instantly the connection, the awareness has gone from here to there.
That's exactly what it is. It's like, it's alignment. So it's aligning your mind, body, and soul. So again, so many different healing modalities can work on different parts of your body. Absolutely. And I always thought, as soon as I sorted out my mind, everything else would be okay. And that wasn't the case. And again, it came up in breath work, because breath work is tuning into your body, isn't it? It's literally bringing you back to your body. Then I felt that resistance, talking to you about it, going, well, there's some resistance there. This is strange. Like, why would there be resistance there? So again, it's everything aligning up to bring me back to the fact that there's something in my body holding on to something that consciously, like I say, it's not in my mindset. Yeah, I can feel it in my body that's causing me to then think in a different way. So it's bringing.
She got to go
back into alignment to what's stored in your body. Let's find out, bring it up, you know, so that you can move differently afterwards. And that's exactly what it does.
So, Serena, we know you're a busy bee. Tell us, you said that you felt an instant change in the session. How's it felt since? Because what I do want to say, and Laura and I were talking about this over the weekend. I mean, Laura and I talk all the bloody time, don't we, love? But what I want to say is, I don't want anyone to think, right, you come in, you do the session, and I'm different. Yes, you feel different, but this is continuous work. It's outgrowing. And I always do this movement, outgrowing the story, you're detaching from it. It will always be there. We want to fix things as humans, put it into a nice box with a pretty bow, and then it's done, and I can leave it there to the side. It will always be there. Our job is to then, in the integration, move away from the story that's been running us. So what have you felt? Because I know for us, we felt like euphoria moments, we felt freedom, then we felt the bloody story, it's driving you mad. And it's been like this whole host of emotions. So we want to be transparent with people and say, you know, there's still work to do, but this is about, the first part is realize, create awareness to what the story actually is. So how's it been since?
Well, like you've touched on, like when people embark on a healing journey, it's a journey. It's not just a quick fix. It really isn't. And some healing sessions that you embark on are going to feel really uncomfortable. Yet there's beauty in that uncomfort, you know what I mean, in that discomfort, because that's what's going to liberate you. You know, we all want to find inner peace. We think we want to find things external from us. Yeah, actually, really, we want to find that peace inside. Because as soon as we've got that peace inside, then that's going to free us up to do what we really essentially want to do. It's going to allow us to be our true selves, our true expression of ourselves in that way. And yet we're going to have things that come up that are going to feel uncomfortable, and yet you might not know, like I say, consciously what they are. So embarking on that journey is going to bring more and more and more of it up, and yes, it is going to feel uncomfortable. And it felt really uncomfortable, you know what I mean, in that session. Like you saw me, like another, like I say, another layer came up that I find it hard to cry in front of people. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Like, so it's not just the root of my anxiety, it's also that I struggle to express my emotions as well. Yeah, again, blind spot, you know, that blind spot awareness came in, felt uncomfortable in the session because, you know, at times, like, and I know that I've done this in my healing journey as well, I've avoided things because I've not wanted to go there. I'm quite all right with healing surface stuff, you know, like, oh, you know, I can heal that, and it's quite a quick transformation for me. Yet the real deep rooted stuff, you just sometimes don't want to go there because you know it's going to bring up stuff that you're going to feel, again, uncomfortable with. Yeah, that's where the magic lies. It really is. If you really want to take big leaps forward in your life and have big transformations because you want big rewards, you know, big returns, you know, let's face it, you know, a lot of us are in business, and, you know, a lot more people want to kind of get into that, you know, kind of career change and transformation and having their own business, having that sort of freedom. Yet to do that, you've got to think about the person that you want to become. Who is that person? Who do you need to be to have what it is that you essentially want? Who do you need to be to do the things that you want to do in life? And that comes with the transformational journey, and it really does. And you are going to feel uncomfortable, yet you're going to grow. Growth is uncomfortable. It really, really is at certain points. Yet there's, like I say, liberation in it. Now that liberation, that freedom is a high that you cannot like buy. Do you know what I mean? You've got to go through your own process through that. So yeah, I felt uncomfortable. After the session, I was left in that awareness as well. Like, it's kind of like, oh, interesting. Yeah. I always say there's beauty in the process, you know what I mean? The processing of it, sitting with stuff. And I think this is, again, what we've been conditioned not to do, because that's uncomfortable to sit in an emotion. So I allow myself, and I've noticed this through my healing journey, that, again, there's power in sitting in stuff. We don't need to fix things. It's just a case of having something in our awareness, and how has that essentially made us feel from having that? You know, and like I say, a lot of it is the dynamics between our parents, because our parents are our biggest role models at a certain age. You know, we learn a lot from them, more than we think we've learned, you know, and again, we've learned limitations from them, again, from our subconscious, keeping us safe and protected, you know, and they don't have to be big traumatic moments. They can literally be experiences that just make us feel limited, scared. It's just scared, really, you know, like that was what I was holding on to in my body. It was a scared feeling, under threat, but not, like I say, it wasn't rational. It was irrational, but that's what our brain does. You know, it makes up an illusion half the time in a narrative that's not even necessarily true. So again, bringing it into my awareness, having that, sitting with it, and then noticing the days thereon afterwards, how I felt different. So, you know, like, I've got to be more visible now. I've got to be more public because my business is requiring it of me. My modality is requiring it of me. I'm here to be of service, and I need to reach as many people as I can to help them connect to themselves too. So to do that, I've got to be seen, you know, and I don't feel comfortable being seen all of the time. Like, I'm quite an introverted, reserved person, which makes people laugh, because when they speak to me, they can't believe that about me. Yeah, I am. I'm a very much like my own time, a bit hermit. Yeah, you know, to step out into the limelight, into the spotlight, I've needed to do this work. So then instead of feeling anxious with the lives that I had coming up after the session, I actually felt quite empowered. So I felt excited, which was strange. You know, like you see top coaches say, oh, anxiety in the body is just the same bodily symptoms as excitement. Yeah, when you actually try to do that and transmute that energy logically, it doesn't work. You've got to do the work to transmute it from anxiety into feeling excited.
Just gotta get.
So that was the first thing that I noticed. Like, oh, I'm back. I can hear you. I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. So yeah, I felt that in my body. I felt different in my body leading up to it, and I noticed during it too. I was a lot more confident, certain, assured. Just something clicked. That's the only thing I can describe it as. Like something clicked inside of me when I was on those lives, and I saw it in me, and I knew as well, like that whole journey of that week of doing those lives as well, for what I was launching at the time, it was about me, the becoming of me. It wasn't about the launch. So again, it gave me that higher perspective, aligning everything together to then see what it really was that I was doing that week, you know. And it wasn't really, like I said, the launch. It was about me recognizing something in me that was different on the back of your session.
I'm just so proud of you. It's like watching children grow, isn't it? It's like, wow. But it's like with the same with Natalie. But it's like with the same with Natalie and I, because we've been supporting each other, haven't we, on our healing journeys for such a long time, and talking and just really reflecting things back and digging in deeper. And this is how we coined on this modality, because even though we have both trained in lots of different things and used lots of different things, it just wasn't getting to those depths, you know. It was like, there's still things, our bodies are still reacting in certain ways. And it's just amazing. I just feel so happy and lucky that we get to share this and just have such an amazing impact on amazing people. So we can rise together and we can have an impact on the world.
Yeah, definitely. So Serena has obviously worked with us, and that has been on creating awareness around this, you know, particular issue that has been running her for all of her life. And she now has a choice in terms of, does she want to allow the story to keep running her, or does adult Serena, as we describe it in our sessions, want to take the reins? Thank other Serena for getting her to this point, but now enable her to have this availability, this infinite potential to do as she truly desires without this anxiety racking her. So we are going to be sharing for the rest of this week some more testimonials of other ladies too. So tomorrow we'll drop a post so you can see a wonderful lady who has also been working through her story. And honestly, Ezra has just been amazing, hasn't she, Laura? The way in which she has gotten so vulnerable, just like Serena. We've got another live on Wednesday, I believe, and we will be sharing some more information on Wednesday about how you can start to get curious about really tapping into this modality and working with us on the Rapid Story Reframe, because we are excited to bring this to more females, because we just know that this is something that is helping multiple people to look at life differently. Life should be working for you, not to you. And this is a way to enable exactly that. So keep your eyes peeled in this Facebook group and also on your Facebook group and YouTube channel, Laura. And we are going to be back this week, aren't we? And keeping you posted on lots more.
We are. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you,
Serena,
for sharing your experience. And just have an amazing day.
Yes.
I'm so excited. Can I just add one more thing? I am so excited that you girls are getting this out there, ladies. Sorry, not girls. But you're getting it out there, because it is like, this is what we need in the world. We need something that can get to deeper levels and undercover, like the why behind it, why that is happening to you, why it's you, so that you can be liberated from it to move forward. So I'm super proud of it from the rooftops. It's literally going to change so many women's lives.
Thank you, my love. Thank you.
Did she break up a bit there for you, Nat?
She did, but I think she was saying basically how it's a wonderful modality and we're going to be changing lives, and basically you need to listen to what Serena just said. Right, I'll leave you lovely ladies to it. Thank you everybody for watching. If you're watching it on replay, you've got any questions, drop it here. Let us know. We will be back on Wednesday, but we'll post something Tuesday. Have a gorgeous rest of the day. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.